Hello everyone, I am Sharvari Sutar and me and my group would be giving a presentation on the use of nanotechnology in thermal insulation. First we'll see why do we need thermal insulation. Now due to insulation, the needed temperature can be maintained, thus minimizing the energy consumption. In some cases, the temperature in the pipes or tanks needs to be within narrow margins, that is under certain parameters. A proper insulation helps to achieve this. Now as we said, due to insulation, energy consumption is minimum. Thus it leads to low CO2 emission. The insulation to some extent also protects the plants from corrosion from the outside, thus reducing the maintenance work. This is like a complementary advantage of thermal insulation. So to reduce the energy consumption, the load on the heating and cooling systems needs to be reduced. This is achieved by decreasing the heat from escaping or coming in according to the application. This is done by increasing the thermal resistance, that is the R value. So the main function of insulation is to increase the thermal resistance. Now here we can see bar charts representing the R values of different materials conventionally used for insulation and the corresponding heat fluxes. As the resistance increases, the heat flux through the wall decreases, thus maintaining the temperature inside. So we saw that to decrease the heat flux, we need to increase the thermal resistance. Now here, the U value corresponds to the heat flux. As we want to decrease the heat flux, the thickness of the insulation goes on increasing to increase the thermal resistance. For the conventional materials like glass fiber and rock wool, the thickness increases to around 300 to 350 mm to achieve higher resistance. Now this takes a lot of space, so we need to find a solution for this. This image shows us the thickness of different insulations for the same thermal resistance. The vacuum insulation panels, that is the VIPs, have very low thickness as compared to the other insulation materials. The VIPs with thermal resistance potentially 5 to 8 times higher than the conventional insulation offer a solution to the thickness problem. Vacuum insulation panels improve the thermal insulation effect not by using the thicker materials but through further reducing the thermal conductivity. This property can be exploited by using nanotechnology. Vacuum insulation panels were a revolution in the thermal insulation industry because of its size. They were ultra thin, high performing insulations. They were 20 times more effective than the existing insulation products. This rigid and highly porous core material is encased in a thin gas-tight outer envelope which is evacuated and sealed. Below we can see a graph of how the thermal conductivity of various materials decreases with the decrease in pressure. Foams and glass fibers require a high quality vacuum with a gas pressure less than 1 millibar. With a particularly finely nanostructured fumed silica, a gas pressure of just 10 to 50 millibar is sufficient to substantially suppress the gas thermal conductivity. Vacuum insulation panel consists of a core which is sealed into an envelope, that is the cover or the foil bag. Now the function of the core is to keep the thermal conductivity of the VIP to a very minimum. Glass wool has the lowest thermal conductivity of the core materials, below 0.1 millibar. However, the thermal conductivity increases fast with an increasing pressure, which gives a short service life of the VIP. As we have seen earlier, the fumed silica is beneficial over the other materials since it has a lower thermal conductivity at higher internal pressure, which prolongs the service life of the VIP. Now for the function of the envelope, the pressure inside the VIP should not increase above 100 millibar within 30 to 50 years, since the thermal conductivity of the core material increases rapidly at higher pressures as we have seen earlier. So the water vapor transmission and the air transmission through the envelope should be kept minimum to avoid this. It is observed from the presentation so far that the conductivity of gas between the pores of the core decreases as the pore size decreases. So how is this nano-sized pores of fumed silica being beneficial for reduction in thermal conductivity? Collision between the gas molecules and the solids, that is the pore walls, are elastic and transfer less energy as compared to the collision between the gas molecules itself. Thus, smaller the pores, more is the probability of collision with pore walls instead of other gas molecules. This is known as the Knudsen effect. So, when we lower the pressure, the mean free path increases, which gives a larger Knudsen effect. So, that is why as we have seen earlier, when we decrease the pressure, the thermal conductivity also decreases. This is a graph that shows how the gas conductivity changes with the pore size and the pressure. If we consider the rate of increase in pressure to be same in all the materials, then as we decrease the pore size, the time required for the increase in gas conductivity also increases. That is, the service life increases as we decrease the pore size. As we enter into the nano range, the gas conductivity remains at its minimum till 10 millibars. Thus, it has a very large service life.
Hello, my name is Harsh Thakkar. I will be taking the rest of the presentation. Now we have seen that how nanoparticles finds its usage in thermal insulation by having very low thermal conductivity. So I will be talking of material of construction of these nanoparticles using the core material. The first one I will be talking about is aerogels. Now aerogels are translucent materials. They are produced by a two-step process. The first is wet gel formation by acid condensation and the second one is wet gel drying. By this process, we can get the pore size of the particles as low as 20 nanometers. And the thermal conductivity of these particles are at 4 milliwatt per meter Kelvin at 50 millibar pressure. Aerogels are non-flammable and non-reactive. But the cost of production is very high, which makes it economically unviable. Since the translucent nature of aerogels, a lot of research is going on to reduce the cost of materials and it can have many applications in future. The second material of construction is hollow sphere nanosilica. This is a schematic representation of these silica particles. Now it is obvious that the conductivity will depend on parameters like packing factor of these spheres, diameter of the spheres, shell thickness, and the intrinsic properties of the shell material. This is a graph of thermal conductivity versus sphere diameter for silica particles. Now we know that as the diameter decreases, the thermal conductivity of the gas decreases. The formula for calculating it is given over here, where kg is the thermal conductivity of the gas, kg naught is the thermal conductivity of the gas at ambient conditions, rho is the porosity, Kn is the Knudsen number, which is inversely proportional to the diameter of the sphere. So as the diameter of the sphere decreases, Kn value increases and hence Kg value decreases. Now beta is a dimensionless constant accounting for the coupling effects of gaseous and solid heat transport arising from the Knudsen diffusion. We have seen the advantages of hollow sphere nanosilica particles. Now how to synthesize these particles? There are two processes available. The first one is dissolution regrowth. In this process, we take amorphous silica colloids and add them in NaBH4 solution. As soon as we add them, they dissolve and then they regrowth. They turn from solid silica colloids to hollow spheres. Now this phenomena is something similar to what we observe in steels. Even steels which are BCC, body centered cubic, when heated up to a certain temperature, they change from BCC to FCC, face centered cubic. We know these FCC steels as austenitic steels. So they also undergo a spontaneous morphology change at a particular temperature. So similarly over here, by adding them in NaBH4 solution, there is a spontaneous morphology change from solid to hollow spheres. The second process for synthesizing hollow spherical nanosilica particles is via template method. This method involves three steps. The first step is synthesis of the template. Second step is coating silica particles on the template, and the third step is removal of the template. The template use can be of polymeric material or microemulsion. I will be discussing in detail about these two methods. Now we can take polymeric material like polystyrene. We take an aqueous solution of polyvinyl pyrrolidone and styrene and carry out polymerization process at 50-80 degrees Celsius. Then we obtain nanospheres of polystyrene material. Now we take tetraethyl orthosilicate and which serves as source of silica. We carry out hydrolysis of this material and obtain silica. We coat these silica particles on the template, and then we remove the template by calcination at around 500 to 600 degrees Celsius. In this method, we take a mixture of benzene TX100 and BMIM BF4. Now that is 1-butyl 3-methyl imidazolium tetrafluoroborate. Now these are ionic liquids. We agitate them together to form a microemulsion of ionic liquids. To that we add TuOS, which serves as silica source. Now we have hydrolysis of TuOS under acidic conditions or alkaline conditions. Now it has been shown that acidic hydrolysis produces nanosilica particles, while alkaline hydrolysis produces hollow silica spheres. We require hollow silica spheres, so we should always carry out alkaline hydrolysis. This slide shows the SEM images of random and pack arrangement of hollow spherical nanosilica particles. The first one is the regular arrangement and the second one is the random packing. This slide gives a comparison between VIP and NIM. Now, vacuum insulated panel and nano insulated materials both give very low thermal conductivity, so it's an advantage. But as time passes, the thermal conductivity of vacuum insulated panel increases, and hence they have shorter lifetime. But of nano insulated material, with time the thermal conductivity it doesn't increases that much, because the absolute pressure in vacuum insulated panels is very low, around 1 millibar, but in nano insulated material is around 50 to 100 millibars. So the thermal conductivity does not increases with time. As robustness for VIPs is moderate, but for nano insulated materials is quite high. These nano insulated materials have many uses. Important ones are listed over here, like insulation of shipping containers. By using these NIMs, we reduce the overall weight of the shipping container, which also reduces the shipping costs. The second are cryogenics. So for storing liquid nitrogen, because the delta T or the drying force is much higher. For aerospace applications where we require very high robustness, low weight and space constraints. NIMs are becoming popular for building insulation in European countries. Thank you.